Hello, everybody. Hi, Mark.
Hey, hi Andrew.
Hey, good to see you again. And
And
today we're in English, and today we have a special guest. Mr. Andy May is coming to join us from Newcastle.
Andy May?
Oh, did I not tell you?
No, I thought it was Jim Davidson was going to be our special guest.
Well, he was, but he cancelled.
Oh, bummer. All right. Well,
yeah,
Andy jumped in at the last minute. Bless him.
Yeah.
Good
Bless
stuff.
him, yes. He's got to do some Jim Davidson jokes. I've sent him some. I hope he got the email. But first of all, I'm just going to remind people in Germany. I know we're in English today, but remind people in Germany, we've got gigs coming up tomorrow. Tuesday, we're in Dortmund in Domicil. Wednesday in Göttingen in Junges Theater. And Thursday, we're in Berlin in Petruskirche. And on October the 9th, we've got 2 gigs in the Schatzkistel Mannheim. Now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us all the way from Newcastle upon Tyne,
Jim Davidson,
darts champion, Northumbrian piper, pianist, composer, daring last-minute wheelie bin maverick. Please welcome Mr. Andy May.
Hey, hiya.
hey, Mexican wave. Do a Mexican wave. You start it, Andrew. Yeah, cool.
Excellent.
You reckon Mexicans
Virtual
really
Mexican wave.
How are you getting on?
I'm quite freaked out by your cup. You got
What?
like an X-ray cup.
My mug? What of it?
So how have you been passing the time in lockdown and all that kind of thing? Have you been keeping busy?
Well, it's pretty strange times, isn't it? All the gigs out the window, so what can you do? But luckily, I've got a bit of a list of pipes to make. So, and my workshop is next to my house, so I can just go and plod along with that. Really, take away.
Yeah. I
you know.
forgot to mention that you're a pipes maker, actually. Yeah, Andy is a pipes maker.
Accidentally, it seems most of the time I'm a pipes maker at the minute, but certainly not what I planned. But it feels lucky to have something. So
Yeah. So how do you make bagpipes? I think that might be something most people don't know, including me, really.
I mean, pretty slowly.
I was going to say that. It's very slowly.
Can I be on the other side, Andrew? I feel like I'm looking the wrong way to look.
I'm not sure how to do that, Andy. Hang on. Maybe I can. No. I can do that.
No.
Or that makes a difference. Or that.
Oh, that's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we that way?
We can do that for a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you had any gigs? I mean, you've lost a lot of gigs as well with the various bands you play with.
Absolutely. But we had a couple of weekends ago. We had one gig with the trio, with playing a trio with Ian and Sophie, and we had a gig which was amazingly on the street where I live. So. Because I have to admit, I haven't been missing all the travel associated with gigs. So the one gig we had, it was on my street, and it's the church on the road was having a series of gigs in their garden. But that was the first time we'd played in 6 months. It's pretty strange how quickly you forget what to do. How to speak on stage or what wires you need. That was second nature when you're doing it all the time.
So what tips would you, because we've got a gig tomorrow, our first gig in 6 months, what tips would you give us?
Make sure you've got all the right wires. And take some spare picks.
Okay, that sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Don't forget the CDs.
Right, Mark, that's your job.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was really nice to play again, and we were lucky. I think we got that in because it looks like you were back in a regional lockdown here now. So if it had been now, we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, it's always the danger, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. But no, it was good good to remember what a gig's like, before we another half a year off. So.
Oh well.
Yeah, we rehearsed for the first time in 6 months yesterday.
It's weird, isn't it?
And, yeah.
And we still play.
Yeah, but it was, I'm going to do some advertising for the gigs as well, though. We were really good. It didn't. Well, I suppose when beforehand, we've done so many gigs. 15 years of playing, and the last three or 4 years, it's been quite an intense number of gigs. It becomes second nature. I found it quite easy, or we just seem to slip back into it very, very quickly. It's like it's burned on you, imprinted on your memory or something.
Yeah. I mean, I had to actually drive a car to get to Mark's place, and I was a little bit worried I'd forgotten how to do that. And but that was thankfully also burnt onto my memory, and how to get to Mark's place. And so I've been there quite a few times in the last 15 years. It's still where it was. So
the gigs you got, are they like outside, or are they distanced indoors, or
a mixture of the two? A mixture of the two. So yeah, they're very strict. Thankfully, I think rightly so. Very strict. So that's good. Yeah. So maybe people at home, hello people at home, are wondering why we're talking to this strange man. We often wonder that. And
yeah, who is he? Who's this guy?
Who is he?
We thought Jim Davidson was going to be this.
So Andy is an old friend, and he played first of all with us.
Not that old.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's
same age as me, really.
Sorry.
Played first of all on our Wine from a Mug album, which I think was 2011. But we knew each other from years before. How did we actually meet, Andy?
In the pub, I think.
In the pub, was it? Yeah,
I think just
fair guess.
Going to sessions and stuff around when you were living in Newcastle.
Yeah, that must have been it.
I guess we met then.
So that was probably about 18 to 20 years ago. Crazy. Yeah. And so we invited you to come and play some piano and some, what's that thing called? Harmonium.
Yeah.
Like a squeezy, tready piano organ thing. And a pedalo piano and some Northumbrian pipes. That was the first time Mark met you. So, Mark, what was your first impression of this strange man here?
I was very impressed with his physical stature, to be honest. A strong-looking man, very, chiseled chin, strong features. Because Andrew said, we invited him to play on the album, as we did with all of the guests. But then, when the guests, including Andy, asked us, "What should I play?" we usually just said, "Well, we don't really know."
That's why we're asking you.
And it was pretty amazing how quickly, because we didn't give them a lot of time either. We didn't have a lot of time, if I remember rightly, and I'm not sure how prepared they were either, but it was quite amazing how quickly Andy just slotted in and played some really, really great stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd been to some of your gigs before that, though, when you'd played round here.
Does that count as preparation for a recording session?
A little bit.
So you knew what kind of music we played. I suppose that's if I remember rightly, you and Ian Stevenson and Katie Doherty were all in the studio on the same day, and we had the job of recording all of your tracks in one day. It was a tight budget, and Julian Sutton was what's his name? Julian was recording us. Batten, that's his word. Was recording us, and so we were putting you under quite a lot of pressure. And you and Ian had just landed from Denmark, if I remember rightly. So we'd sent all the stuff in advance. And you had I remember the chart for one song was a blank piece of paper with the title of the song on top, and it said A minor. That was the chart for the song. So we supplied you with the best information we could get our hands on.
Yeah. Hey, but the album came out great, huh?
It did, yeah. We were very pleased with what everyone added to it, and yeah.
I have to admit
Buy it,
that
folks.
often when we're doing trio gigs, we use that as the the people coming in, and the interval music is that album often.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I think because it was on my phone.
Ah.
But also it's relevant without being the same,
Yeah. Okay.
Huh?
I think we can take that as a big compliment. So we've also since then drafted you into, without your knowledge, to play with us live. When you come along to see us, just to see a gig, we've ended up dragging you on stage. And also you ended up doing a full gig with us of quite a lot of material that you'd never heard before and had no chance to practice. So what was that like?
It's just the German one.
Yeah, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun. But the main thing that might surprise people about that gig is that I was playing quite a lot of piano. Some of the songs that I played on the album, some that I hadn't played before. And when we had the rehearsal, there was no piano. So, unusual.
Is that a tricky thing for a piano player to deal with? Is it usually better to have a piano?
It was an unusual challenge. So I remember rehearsing some of these songs that I'd not played before on a table. And the next time I played them, like actually with the piano, was in the gig. So, and that gig's on YouTube.
Yeah, the whole thing was filmed and posted on YouTube, which I thought was quite funny.
I thought it was a riot. That had Woche in it as well, didn't it?
Yeah, Woche Barragano came and joined us as well.
Wild man from Asturias.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun though. And when you listen to that on YouTube, it's surprisingly satisfactory, really.
Yeah, I remember watching it thinking, this is really good. Yeah.
Maybe I did practice on when I was practicing on the table, I didn't hear any mistakes. So
no. Yeah, I didn't see any either.
No.
That's
something.
So if we asked you to play with us again one day, would you do it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And would you be expecting some kind of unusual circumstances or stressful?
Always. Just came up on my Facebook the other day that thing we did in Germany last year.
Yeah. Saulheim.
Yeah, I remember that because it's when I started introducing a song that had a political meaning or a deeper political meaning, and I got into a bit of a speech about it, and you put some really dramatic strings on behind the orchestra, and that really freaked me out.
Yeah, that gig was what, 7 hours long or something. It was a pretty long gig.
It was quite long, wasn't it? Yeah. Not really only us. Yeah. So count me in for more. You're gonna make some more records? Well, who knows? Who knows what anyone's going to do at the moment? We're planning to do something slightly different next, like quite different. So, yeah, if you fancy joining, I mean, it would be rude of us to tell you what it was before inviting you to come and join in. Going to break with tradition.
Yeah, I'll do it anyway. Whatever.
Cool.
And what about yourself, Andy? What plans have you got on with your band? And are you just kind of have gigs been postponed to next year? Is that the way things are looking, or are you just taking things as they come?
It's really, it's just so up in the air. It's hard to say. I mean, we've got a few things in next year, but I think people are afraid to book anything either at the minute. So stuff's sort of postponed a little bit more indefinitely than that, really. Well,
all we can do, I think, is all you can really do is kind of be in the moment at the moment. It's not. It doesn't really make any sense to think too far ahead, which is obviously difficult. But the rest has been nice, as you mentioned earlier. You certainly don't miss the travelling as we as we set off for Berlin tomorrow.
That's quite a long way. Yeah. Yeah. So, folks, you must check out Andy's music. Fantastic piper and piano player. He plays with Andy May Trio.
Yeah.
Andy May Trio.
Check out his one of his better albums. Andy May plays Bach on a table. That's a really good.
It sounds like a mouse walking around. Yeah,
it's a really good
one. Yeah, Andy May Trio, Baltic Crossing, and Jeslo and the Bad Pennies. Have you got any other stuff that you do?
That's it, really.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot.
Those are the main things, and then random bits of stuff now and then. That's always fun, isn't it?
You play at piping festivals, don't you? With sort of.
Yeah, I wonder when those will happen again. Even.
You did an online one, was it not recently?
I did. Oh yeah, it was. It was like a pipers gathering in the US that I was, ideally I would have been going to, and then I couldn't. So they decided to do like an online version, and asked if I could still do a workshop and some sort of concert. I guess this is something we're all having to learn how to do, is do our own recording and videoing and whatnot in the home. Which is,
yeah.
Do you find that a bit of a hassle, or are you enjoying that? Sorry, Mark.
I mean, there's good and bad. Well, it's sort of fun to learn something new, except it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it, when you've spent 30 years learning some instruments, and then you spend a couple of days getting to grips with the most basic functions of some video editing software in order to represent yourself, and then as you put it on the internet, it's basically up against properly made videos. It's the main thing I learned was that the best looking room in my home is also the worst sounding room in my home, and vice versa. And I also discovered, I did a 25-minute set or whatever, played it straight through, and thought, yeah, it went pretty well. And I realised after, as I look back, that in a live gig, I look at one of two things really, and one of them is the audience, and the other is the other people I'm playing with. So when neither of those things were there was kind of, even though as I was playing, I was like, yeah, I'm quite into this. This is, going well. And then I look back, and there was extended periods where I just looked gormless, It looks like there's, something the matter with me. And yeah, I knew if I did it again, I couldn't really envisage it was going to be appreciably better, So that's something to find a way around, isn't it?
Yeah, not to look gormless.
Maybe just put the telly on next time. Watch the television, the sound down.
So will you join us on? Will you join us on that? We're planning to do an online gig, pre-recorded online gig. So do you fancy playing a song or two on that?
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You can look as gormless as you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I might just put it on my hand.
Cool.
All right, folks, time's up, I'm afraid. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
Thank you.
We'll pay you at some point.
Yeah.
That's something else we've all gotten used to, not being paid.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Take care of yourselves. We're back in German next week. Andy can speak German. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone in German?
Auf Wiederhören, speaking on the telephone.
Bye, folks. See you, Mark. See you, Andy.
See ya.